Training Day 47 marked a turning point at the Galactic Military Academy. The atmosphere in the combat arena was charged with tension as Drill Sergeant Kraz stalked between rows of cadets, his forearms folded behind his back. His scaled skin gleamed under the artificial lights as his multifaceted eyes narrowed at the newest addition to his squad. "Deathworlder," he hissed, the translator struggling to convey the mixture of disgust and apprehension in his voice. "Show us what your kind is capable of." Tom Davis stood at attention, the only human in a room full of aliens from across the galaxy. At 6'2", he was neither the tallest nor the most physically imposing cadet, but the others gave him a wide berth. Nonetheless, his home planet, Earth, was classified as a Class 12 death world, a designation that had earned humans both fear and respect throughout the galactic community. "Yes, Drill Sergeant," Tom replied, his voice steady despite the murmurs rippling through the assembled cadets. Kraz flicked two of his hands dismissively. "The trials begin in 10 minutes. The Academy has been generous enough to allow your participation despite concerns from certain parties." His mandibles clicked in what passed for a smirk among his species. "Try not to embarrass yourself too badly." The trials were legendary, a brutal combat assessment that determined placement within the Academy's elite squadrons. No human had ever participated, much less succeeded. The Alliance had only reluctantly admitted Earth 5 years prior, and many still considered humans too unpredictable, too dangerous to serve alongside other species. Tom was the test case. The first human granted admission to the Academy through a diplomatic initiative meant to integrate Earth into the galactic community. His failure would confirm the prejudices many held. His success would open doors for humanity. As cadets filed into the preparation chamber, Lieutenant Vex, a blue-skinned humanoid with crystalline features, approached Tom. "The betting pool has you washing out in the first round," Vex said, mandibles twitching with amusement. "The drill sergeants are putting their most decorated veterans against you." Tom nodded, checking his standard-issue combat suit. "Good to know." "You are not concerned?" Vex asked, genuine curiosity breaking through his usual reserve. "Where I'm from, we have a saying," Tom replied. "It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog." Vex's translation device beeped in confusion. "You humans and your bizarre metaphors. May your ancestors guide your strikes." The combat arena transformed into a simulated battlefield, holographic projections creating terrain features and cover positions. Tom studied the layout, noting the elevated positions and choke points. Around him, 40 cadets from 27 species prepared for combat. Drill Sergeant Kraz's voice boomed through the arena. "The objective is simple. Eliminate your opponents. Last 3 standing advance to elite training. Begin." The arena erupted into chaos. Energy weapons flashed, bio-augmented limbs clashed, and tactical fields shimmered as cadets engaged. Tom moved with purpose, keeping to cover and observing. The favorites quickly emerged, a quartet of Vargan warriors, 8-foot-tall predatory, species with natural armor and enhanced reflexes, coordinated their attacks to eliminate weaker opponents. A pair of Nexian twins, telepathically linked and moving in perfect synchronization, controlled the central platform. Tom remained patient, conserving energy while others exhausted themselves in spectacular but inefficient displays of prowess. What most species failed to understand about humans wasn't their strength or speed, both respectable but not exceptional by galactic standards, but their endurance and adaptability. 30 minutes into the trial, 28 cadets had been eliminated. The remaining 12 circled each other warily, alliances forming and dissolving as opportunities presented themselves. The Vargon leader, Grek, turned his attention to Tom, who had thus far avoided direct confrontation. "The human hides like prey," Grek growled to his comrades. "Let us show the drill sergeants why Deathworlders should remain on their savage planets." The 4 Vargans converged on Tom's position, their movements calculated to cut off escape routes. In the observation booth, Drill Sergeant Kraz leaned forward, anticipating the humans' quick defeat. What happened next would be replayed in Academy training sessions for years to come. Tom didn't retreat. He charged directly at the lead Vargon, moving with a fluid economy of motion that caught his opponent off guard. The Vargon's swing, powerful enough to shatter bone, met empty air as Tom slipped inside his reach. 3 precise strikes later, the Vargon's primary nerve clusters were compromised and he collapsed, eliminated from the trial. The remaining Vargons attacked simultaneously, expecting to overwhelm the human with superior numbers. They hadn't counted on Tom's species evolving on a planet where pattern recognition and split-second decision-making meant the difference between life and death. Tom moved between them, never still, never predictable. He used their momentum against them, redirecting attacks into empty space or, better yet, into each other. One by one, the Vargons fell, their sophisticated combat techniques rendered ineffective against an opponent who fought with calculated improvisation. In the observation booth, silence fell. Drill Sergeant Kraz's mandibles hung slack. "Impossible," whispered his assistant. "The Vargons were our top squad." Kraz couldn't respond. The human hadn't just defeated the Vargons, he had done so without activating his combat suit's enhanced features, relying solely on natural ability. On the battlefield, only 5 cadets remained. The Nexian twins, sensing a genuine threat, abandoned their central position to focus on Tom. The telepathic coordination that made them feared throughout the academy allowed them to attack from multiple angles simultaneously. Tom adapted, using the terrain to limit their advantages. When one Nexian lunged, Tom sidestepped and grappled, using the alien's momentum to send it crashing into its twin. The momentary disruption of their telepathic link was all he needed. 2 more eliminations. The final phase pitted Tom against the last 2 cadets, a Tyrillian tech specialist and a Draconid brute. They formed an alliance of convenience, recognizing the human as the greater threat. The ensuing confrontation lasted less than a minute. Tom's stamina, honed on a planet with higher gravity and harsher conditions, allowed him to outlast opponents who had expended energy on flashier techniques earlier in the trial. When the simulation ended, Tom stood alone in the arena, breathing hard but steady. In the observation booth, the Academy's senior instructors exchanged glances of disbelief and, in some cases, alarm. Humans weren't just adaptable, they were dangerously unpredictable. If one untrained cadet could dismantle their best squads, what might an entire platoon accomplish? Drill Sergeant Kraz's voice, when he finally spoke, carried a new tone, respect tinged with wariness. "The human advances," he announced, "and may the ancestors help us all." That day, the galaxy learned an important lesson about Deathworlders. Sometimes the most dangerous species aren't the ones with the sharpest claws or the most advanced technology. Sometimes they're the ones who never stop fighting.